Hi everybody, Grandma Bev here from Life with Grandma Bev. And most of you who follow my channel know that Bob and I love movies. And every Friday before something happened 2 years ago, we would go to the movie theater. And of course, once the event happened, we had to figure out something else to do. So we started watching videos at home on Fridays. Bob makes a big thing of popcorn, and we try to make it as dark as we can in the family room, and then we watch a movie Friday afternoons. Well, this week we decided, because of the movie we wanted to see, that we would go to the movie theater. So we did. And I also got a big, happy surprise when we went into town, because we had to go into town to it. Now, to town, I don't mean like Seattle or somewhere in the big city, but for this little town we live in, the next one over is town to me. That's where most of the places are that we go to, where most of the stores are and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, we went into town. Now, this is the kind of theater where you can go online, buy your tickets ahead of time, and reserve your seats. We did it like late Thursday. We were the first ones to even buy tickets, right? So we got the seats we liked. And, I don't like to have people next to me. Oh, except Bob. Bob's always on one side of me. And neither one of us like to have people on these sides of us. So we try to be very careful about the seats we pick. So we went to see the movie, The Northman. And I've got my thing open here with notes on it. See, I know it had to be rated R at least. What's it say? Oh, come on. What rating? What rating? It doesn't say. Read and review. Oh, I know it has to be at least R. I wouldn't take a little kid to see it. Anyway, so we get to the theater, and the parking lot's full. I go, no, but that's not the only movie in there. So we went in, though, and there wasn't hardly anybody in the theater part when we went into. But, of course, there was somebody right next to Bob. It's like, God, don't they know it's a time when you're trying to decide if you're going to wear a mask or not, So we just sat two more over. We figured if somebody comes in who's bought those seats, we'll move. Nobody ever did, so we were comfy. So those are nice because they recline, and those really came in handy after I had my back surgery when I couldn't really sit up, and lean against things. We'd go to that movie theater and I could lay on my side and watch the movie. So let's get to the movie. And I will tell you my happy surprise, though, when we get to the end of the movie talking part. So this movie, here it is, R. I was right. It just came out in 2022. It received 89% tomometers, Rotten Tomatoes score, and 64% audience score. Now, we went to this kind of movie because we really got into Game of Thrones several years back, which isn't normally our type of movie. And from there, we went to the different Vikings, the Vikings Valhalla, the regular Vikings, all those. And we thought, well, this sounds like it might be right up our alley now, a new genre for us. So here's what the critics' consensus was. A bloody revenge, epic and breathtaking visual marvel. Yeah, it was very pretty. The Northman finds filmmaker Robert Eggers expanding his scope without sacrificing any of his signature style, whatever that is. Now remember, this is all my opinion, though, when I talk about the movie itself. This is just, what the audience said was you might be frustrated if you're expecting something straightforward, but viewers looking for an artsy and bloody Viking revenge story won't be disappointed. Well, it was, to me, it's very boring the first hour or so, hour and 15 minutes. Yeah, there was a lot of blood. I watched it thinking, how could people be so barbaric? I mean, because some of the ways that they would kill people, things they would do to them. And I don't appreciate that they show animals being killed, even though they say no animals were harmed. And I don't like seeing animals being killed. Now, humans, woo. That kind of an oxymoron. Anyway, it was pretty bloody. Now, what it is about, this kid named Prince Amleth, Amleth, is on the verge of becoming a man when his father is brutally murdered by his uncle, who kidnaps the boy's mother, played by Nicole Kidman. 2 decades later, Amleth is now a Viking who's on a mission to save his mother, kill his uncle, and avenge his father. He promised his father, when his father was dying, that he would get revenge. And I'll tell you who all's in it, too. Come on, move up. Okay. Alexander Skarsgård plays Amleth. The Skarsgård people, family, are very good actors. Then I mentioned Nicole Kidman. And then Claes, Claes, Bang, plays the uncle who killed the boy's father. The father was played by Ethan Hawke. Now, he was so totally made up, with looking like he fit the times. I actually thought, is this Josh Brolin? Because the face looked very similar. But he wasn't in real long, obviously. But that was Ethan Hawke. And then Anya Taylor-Joy. Did any of you watch the Queen's Gambit, which was a chess story with that young gal who, kept beating all these people in different chess games? She was in it. And she played a very interesting role, too. Among a few other people, though, I hadn't heard of. So, like I say, it's bloody. And I keep thinking, I'm so terrible. I sure hope I wasn't alive in a different life back then. I could not have handled the smell of people. They look so dirty, and they are. They always mud on them, dried blood from killing people. And it's like, God, can you imagine making love with a guy that looks like he stinks? And another thing I didn't like, but I know that was the way it was back then. It was the way women were treated. Like they're just nothing, just something to be used. I shouldn't go in there with that attitude because I know that's just how it was back then. But I kind of feel like we're kind of going back to that way now. Anyway, I'm not going to get political. I don't know. It got really, interesting because so much activity was going on with about the last half hour of it. And it ended in a way that I was a little disappointed with the ending. And, you need to watch it to see, did he save his mother? Did he kill his uncle? So, it's kind of a heartless family dynamic in it. What would I rate it? I'd have to give it maybe 2 stars. Now, that's not saying you shouldn't watch it. I think you should watch it to see if you agree with me. What can I say? And Bob had the same opinion. Not of everything, but, but, that it wasn't that good, that was kind of dragged out. And especially in the beginning, the way they agreed that he was ready to become a man. Stupid. Oh, gosh. I don't want to say what it was. So, anyway, that's it for the movie. So, my surprise, though, because, when you do the ride-alongs with me, I've always been on the one side of the main drag going into Silverdale. Well, the movie theater's on the other side, the same side as the mall. I think I pointed out the mall when I've driven by. Well, the other side of the mall, coming down their main drag, I glance over where Toys R Us used to be, and there's a Hobby Lobby. I was so shocked and surprised because we don't get a lot of that kind of stuff over here. And I was even saying when we were in Yuma, I needed to go to Hobby Lobby because it was my last opportunity to, or at least, go in Vegas with my daughter. Because once I got home, if I want to go to one, I've got to drive at least an hour or more to go find one. And I'm not doing that. So that's where I'm going to go next week on my ride along. So you'll need to watch my ride along. I've got a couple of places we're going to go to. Or we, meaning we and you. What you think, Lou? She's just sitting here on the floor. So, we went to this other mall on the other side of the freeway. And that one's got like a Marshall's, an Ulta, a bunch of stuff like that. And we went to Mod Pizza, where you can tell them exactly what you want on your pizza. And we brought that home for dinner. So that was the extent of our day. It's enough for me. So I'd like your comments down below. And remember, this whole video about the movie is my opinion. Share, like, subscribe. And I hope you're all having a good Mother's Day weekend. Like I say, it was pouring here earlier, but it looks like it's all dried up now. But I'm sure it'll come back. It's supposed to be that way for the whole next week. So I don't know. So I hope you have a good Mother's Day tomorrow. I love you all. Bye.